Hello students, welcome in Department of Nanoscience and Nanotechnology, class SYBSc, semester 3rd, subject NS231. Our course title is Physical Techniques for Synthesis of Nanomaterials. Our chapter is Green Synthesis. Today's topic is Biological Synthesis and Microbial Routes for Nanoparticles. Our topics are: first is biological synthesis of nanoparticles. Second is microbial routes for nanoparticle synthesis. In that, first is actinomycetes, second is algae, third is bacteria, fourth is fungi, fifth is viruses, and last is yeast. Okay, we can discuss about firstly biological synthesis of nanoparticles. Recent studies have shown that green biologically based methods using microorganisms and plants to synthesize nanoparticles are safe, inexpensive, and an environment friendly alternative. Both microorganisms and plants have long demonstrated the ability to absorb and accumulate inorganic metallic ions from their surrounding environment. These attractive properties make many biological entities efficient biological factors capable of significantly reducing environmental pollution and reclaiming metals from industrial waste. Importantly, the ability of a biological entity to use its inherent biochemical processes to transform inorganic metallic ions into metal nanoparticles has led to a relatively new and largely unexplored field of research. To date, the ability of microorganisms to interact, extract, and accumulate metallic materials from their surroundings has been capitalized on in a number of biotechnology applications such as bioremediation and bioleaching. The capability of microorganisms to actively interact with their surrounding environment stems from the composition of their lipid-based amphipathic membranes enable a variety of oxidation reduction mechanisms to take place and promote biochemical convergence. Studies have shown that both unicellular and multicellular organisms achieve both extracellular and intracellular synthesis of inorganic micron and nano-sized materials, and in the case of nanoparticle synthesis, culturing microorganisms in particular environments can also assist them in promoting coupled oxidation and reduction phenomenon. The specific oxidation reduction mechanisms, nucleation and subsequent nanoparticle growth, kinetics and the interaction of these processes with the microorganisms' metabolic processes have yet to be fully explained. Hence, there is still a considerable level of research that needs to be undertaken to fully investigate and elucidate differences in nanoparticle size and morphology between different metals when synthesized using the same microorganisms. This is also true when considering the use of plants for synthesizing nanoparticles. The advantage of using plants over other eco-friendly biologically based systems such as bacteria and fungi is that it avoids the use of specific well-conditioned culture preparation and isolation techniques that tend to be expensive and elaborate. Conversely, biosynthesis of nanoparticles using plants or plant-based extracts tend to be safe, have relatively short production times, and have a lower cultivation cost compared to other biological systems. Furthermore, plant-based biosynthesis is a relatively straightforward process that can be easily scaled up for large-scale production of nanoparticles. As mentioned above, nanoparticles can be synthesized from a wide variety of biological entities such as actinomycetes, algae, bacteria, fungus, plants, viruses, and yeast. Each biological entity has varying degrees of biochemical processing capabilities that can be effectively used to synthesize particular metallic or metallic oxide nanoparticles. Not all biological entities can synthesize nanoparticles due to their enzyme activities and intrinsic metabolic processes. Therefore, careful selection of the appropriate biological entity is necessary to produce nanoparticles with well-defined properties such as size and morphology. Generally, biological entities with a potential to accumulate heavy metals have the best chance of synthesizing metallic nanoparticles. In the case of microorganism, culturing methods are very important. Hence, optimization of culturing parameters such as nutrients, light, medium, pH, temperature, mixing speed and buffer strength can increase enzyme activity. Next topic is microbial routes for synthesis of nanoparticles. Okay. Many studies have shown that microorganisms, both unicellular and multicellular, have the ability to synthesize inorganic materials. The biological synthesis can be considered a bottom-up approach where nanoparticle formation occurs due to reduction or oxidation of metallic ions via biomolecules such as enzymes, sugars and proteins secreted by the microorganisms. However, a complete understanding of nanoparticle synthesis mechanism occurring in microorganisms is yet to be fully developed. This is because each type of microorganisms tends to behave and interact differently with particular metallic ions. The interaction and biochemical processing activities of a specific microorganism and the influence of environmental factors such as pH and temperature ultimately determines the formation of nanoparticles with a particular size and morphology. Nanoparticles formation can be either extracellular or intracellular depending on the microorganisms. The following 6 sections briefly discuss some of the main microbial routes used to synthesize nanoparticles. First is actinomycetes. The literature reports extensively on the extracellular or intracellular synthesis of metallic nanoparticles via actinomycetes, with extracellular synthesis being the more common pathway. Intracellular reduction of metallic gold ions by the Rhodococcus species has revealed that gold nanoparticles were predominantly reduced on the cell membrane and cell wall but not in the cytosol. Reduction of gold ions is believed to be the result of interacting enzymes being released from the cell membrane and cell wall, while capping protein stabilizes the formed nanoparticles. The biosynthesis process produced nanodispersed gold nanoparticles ranging from 5 to 15 nanometer in size. The nanoparticles were non-toxic to the cell. Similar studies with actinomycete cells have confirmed the intracellular reduction of gold and silver ions by cell wall enzymes to form metallic silver sheets or monomers that consequently initiate the growth of nanoparticles. In an effort to explain the mechanism and conditions that favored extracellular synthesis of nanoparticles in 2014, Karthik undertook the reduction of silver nitrate ions by using Streptomyces species LK3. This resulted in the efficient formation of silver nanoparticles. It is known that the nitrate reductase enzyme is generally involved in the cellular nitrogen cycle, as is responsible for the reduction of nitrate to nitrite. Their study indicated that nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, that is NADH, dependent nitrate reductase enzyme was indeed responsible for their reduction of silver ions to metallic silver via an electron transfer mechanism and the subsequent formation of stabilized silver nanoparticles. A similar nitrate reductase enzyme mechanism is seen in the reduction of gold ions from aqueous solution containing gold chloride ions during the electron transfer from NADH by NADH dependent reductase. Each gold ion receives an electron and it reduces to Au0 and subsequently forms stabilized Au nanoparticles, that is gold nanoparticles. Importantly, effective stabilization is necessary to prevent agglomeration due to the high surface energy and protect the properties of synthesized nanoparticle. Interestingly, biologically synthesized nanoparticles tend to have higher antimicrobial activity when compared with traditionally synthesized nanoparticles. The higher antimicrobial activity is believed to be the result of the action of synergistic protein involved in capping and stabilizing the nanoparticle. Next is algae. Algae are aquatic microorganisms and recent studies have shown that some of them not only accumulate heavy metals but they can also be used to biologically synthesize metallic nanoparticles. For example, the dried unicellular alga Chlorella vulgaris was used to synthesize tetrachloroauritinous ions to form algal bound gold that was subsequently reduced to form gold nanoparticles. Tetrahedral, decahedral and icosahedral shaped nanoparticles were found to accumulate near the cell surfaces. A similar study using an extract from C. vulgaris was found to produce silver nanometer scale plates at room temperature. The study indicated that proteins contained within the extract acted as reducing agent, shape control modifier and stabilizing agent, and a study by Govinda Raju revealed that a marine alga Sargassum wicti was capable of extracellular synthesis of gold, silver and gold-silver biometallic nanoparticles. Recently, Singaravelu showed that S. wicti could rapidly synthesize gold nanoparticles. The extracellular synthesis produced nanoparticles ranging in size from 8 to 12 nanometer. Raja Sulochana have also reported the synthesis of extracellular gold nanoparticles using Kappa ficus alvarezi, while Mata has reported on a biological reduction of gold using biomass derived from brown alga Fucus vesiculosus. Additionally, Senapati reported the intracellular synthesis of gold nanoparticles via Tetraselmis cochinensis, and recently Castro reported using red Chondrus crispus and green alga Spirogyra insignis for synthesizing gold and silver nanoparticles. Next is bacteria. In nature, bacteria are frequently exposed to diverse and sometimes extreme environmental situations. Survival in these harsh conditions ultimately depends on their ability to resist the effects of environmental stresses. Natural defense mechanisms exist in bacteria to deal with a variety of stresses such as toxicity arising from high concentrations of metallic ions in the environment. Biological strategies for dealing with high concentrations of metallic ions include changes in metal ion concentration, via redox state changes, reflux systems, intracellular precipitation and accumulation of metals, and extracellular formation of complexes. The major bacterial species used for the synthesis of metallic nanoparticles include Actinobacter species, Escherichia coli, Klebsiella pneumonia, Lactobacillus species, Bacillus cereus species, Corynebacterium species, and Pseudomonas species. Bacteria are known to synthesize metallic nanoparticles by either intracellular or extracellular mechanisms. For example, silver nanoparticles have been synthesized using Pseudomonas sutzeri Ag259 bacterium via a mechanism involving the NADH dependent reductase enzyme that donate an electron and oxidize to NAD. The electron transfer results in the biological reduction of silver ions to silver nanoparticles. In a similar study, Husseini were able to reduce gold ions using Pseudomonas aeruginosa that resulted in the extracellular synthesis of gold nanoparticles. However, some other researchers have also shown the non-involvement of biological enzymes. For example, Liu were able to produce gold nanoparticles from dried cells of Bacillus megaterium. A similar study by Sneha using a Corynebacterium species also revealed that a non-enzymatic reduction mechanism was involved in nanoparticle formation. The reduction of nanoparticles is believed to be the result of a combination of several factors. The first factor is the presence of some organic functional groups at the cell wall that induce reduction, and the second depends on the appropriate environmental parameters such as pH and temperature being present. For example, the dried biomass of Lactobacillus species A09 and Bacillus megaterium D01 can reduce silver ions via the interaction of functional groups present on the cell wall to produce silver nanoparticles. Size, shape and composition of nanoparticle can be significantly influenced by pH and temperature. For example, particle size is an important factor since novel and unique physico-chemical properties are more pronounced at smaller sizes. Therefore, there is a need to optimize synthesis parameters during nanoparticle formation to enhance the overall particle properties. Next is fungi. Biosynthesis of nanoparticles utilizing fungi is widespread among many research groups globally, and the synthesis occurs at both extracellular and intracellular locations. For example, fungi such as Aspergillus species, Fusarium species and Penicillium species have been frequently reported for their biosynthetic ability to create both silver and gold nanoparticles. Moreover, studies have shown that fungi are capable of producing monodisperse nanoparticles and particle sizes over a wide range of different chemical compositions. Fungi possess some additional attributes when compared to their bacterial counterparts for the synthesis of metallic. For instance, fungi secrete large amounts of proteins and enzymes per unit of biomass, which results in larger amounts of nanoparticles being manufactured. Studies have shown that some fungi possess high intracellular metal uptake volumes and the synthesized particles tend to be smaller in size. However, the culture conditions can have a significant influence during the biosynthesis of metallic nanoparticles. For example, the biological reduction of gold ions was carried out using trichothium species biomass under stationary condition synthesize extracellular nanoparticles. In contrast, agitation of the biomass tended to produce intracellular nanoparticles. One possible explanation suggested by this result was that non-agitation promoted the release of enzymes and proteins while agitation prevented their release. Fluorescence spectra studies have indicated that extracellular synthesis of nanoparticles by the fungi results from the action of bioactive reducing agents secreted from the cell wall, and it produces protein stabilized nanoparticles. The study was able to show that the same proteins released by the fungal biomass were present in the solution and also bound to the surfaces of nanoparticles. Both extracellular and intracellular synthesis of nanoparticles using fungi has been investigated. In the case of intracellular synthesis, extraction procedures in downstream processing suffer from the drawback of low yields. Next is viruses. The use of viruses in the synthesis of nanomaterials is a novel technique that has been able to deliver inorganic materials such as silicon dioxide, cadmium sulfide, iron oxide and zinc sulfide. Semiconductor materials such as CDS and ZNS are particular in interest to the electronics industry, and green chemistry based methods for their synthesis have been extensively investigated. The use of viruses to synthesize quantum dots has been investigated over the last decade. An attractive feature of viruses in their dense surface covering of capsid proteins that form a highly reactive surface capable of interacting with metallic ions. For example, a typical plant virus such as tobacco mosaic virus, that is TMV particle, can have as many as 2130 capsid protein molecules covering its surface. The array of proteins can act attachment points for the deposition of materials or can be used to create three-dimensional vessels for pharmaceuticals. In a recent study, low concentrations of TMVs were added to silver or gold salts before adding plant extracts of Nicotina benthamina, that is round-leaved native tobacco, or Hordeum vulgare, that is barley. The presence of the virus not only decreased the size of the synthesized nanoparticles but also dramatically increased their numbers compared to the non-virus solutions. Next is yeast. Yeast, like many other microorganisms, have the ability to absorb and accumulate significant amounts of toxic metals from their surrounding environment. Adaptation to metal toxicity has resulted in yeast cells using a variety of detoxification mechanisms that cause activities such as chelation, bioprecipitation, biosorption and extracellular sequestration. Extracellular sequences. The variation in particle size, location and particle properties is due to the different mechanisms used by yeast organisms to form and stabilize the nanoparticles during synthesis. Studies by Dameron have shown that when Candida glabrata was exposed to cadmium salts, the resulting intracellular synthesis produced CDS quantum dots. Similar studies using Schizosaccharomyces spomb cells have also been able to find a link between the formation of CDS quantum dots and the growth phase of the yeast. Moreover, intracellular synthesis of PBS quantum dots was possible when Torulopsis species were exposed to Pb2 ions. Also, gold nanoparticles ranging in size from a few nanometers up to around 100 nanometer have been intracellularly synthesized using Ichi Ejadini. Importantly, it was found that during the synthesis step, the nanoparticle size and shape was easily regulated by controlling both the growth and cellular activities of P. jadini. In similar studies, the influence of biomass and gold salt concentration during extracellular synthesis and intracellular synthesis were studied using the Marine East Euro Ili Politica. The studies revealed that both biomass and gold salt influence the size and morphology of particles formed. For example, increasing gold salt concentration not only continued to produce nanometer scale spheres, but it also tended to produce nanometer scale plates. Furthermore, the silver tolerant yeast strain MKY3 has been used to synthesize extracellular silver spherical nanoparticles ranging in size from 2 to 5 nanometer. Thank you.